Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Roar of Resentment Frieza Full Power, the AGL LR Frieza Full Power, and how he does after his Extreme Z Awakening in DBZ Dokkan Battle. Now Frieza, I have one dupe in. I have him Link level 10, and Link level 10 is probably almost more important. Well, it's not more important, but Link level 10 is very important because big bad bosses. So it's going to make a big difference to how your Frieza is going to be at start of turn compared to mine when you assess the units. Sworn enemies will plan a Namek Saga lead of Ki +3, attack and defense of 180%, greatly raising attack and raising his defense one turn and causing mega colossal damage to the enemy on his 12 key, and greatly raising attack and defense permanently on his 18 key, causing mega colossal damage to the enemy. This is crucial because Ultra Super Attacks 18 keys are pivotal to Frieza maintaining strong stats throughout the course of the fight. Ki +3, attack and defense of 200%, damage reduction rate of 20% are his base. At the start of each turn he'll get Ki +1 up to 3. After receiving an attack, he'll get attack and defense of 50% and launching an additional super for 4 turns. For every attack received, he'll build his Ki up further and his damage reduction rate by another 20%. And as the first attacker in a turn, he'll have 30% damage reduction. This means in total, he will have 70% damage reduction as a first slot unit, which is pretty good. To put it in perspective, that's the exact same as Tech, Good, and Evil Majin Buu, and they are still able to tank incredibly well. As a second or third attacker, he gets an additional attack boost with a great chance of launching an additional super, and for one turn from the character's entry, he'll guard all attacks. For 6 turns from the character's entry, he has attack and defense of 150% up, and when there's a super class enemy, he gets attack of 100% with a high chance of critting, and against a Goku is guaranteed crit. Link skills are Prodigy's, Universe's most relevant, Nightmare, Strongest Clan, Space Big Bad Boss's Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. It's on a ton of categories: Battle of Fate, Exploding Rage, Final Trump Card, Full Power, Gifted Warriors, Inhuman Deeds, Planet Namek Saga, Planet of Destruction, Space Traveling Warriors, etc. In terms of build, Additionals is always a good way to go. Largely because it helps to augment his 50% crit rate up against super, but whilst also allowing him to greatly raise the attack, which is actually very crucial because after those 6 turns expire, you're going to be losing 150% attack and defense, so having additional stacks of attack up will help to compensate for the drop between 150 to 100%. All in all, Frieza's design is very simple. He has guard in his first turn, so you can place him directly in harm's way so that he can build up as much Ki as possible, allowing him to have access to his 18 key super, which will allow him to stack his defense to the point where he can still maintain being an incredibly tanky unit once that 150% defense passes. If, for whatever reason, the unit is not needed in the first slot, you can push him to the second slot to enable him to fire more super attacks, which enables him to actually build his attack faster and increase his overall damage levels. Frieza is a great unit. I really like what they've done with him. The issue I have with him is that right now he is missing a unit that compensates or really works alongside him specifically. So I think he's great as a first slot unit. Even a second slot unit, I think he's great. But the big issue is that out of all of his pairing partners, absolutely no one suits him. Strength Final Form Cooler, who shares a great number of links with him, is good in the second slot, but he can't handle certain levels of content. Supermax Cell, probably the closest we get to being a second slot unit, sharing 4 crucial links with him, and that's probably right now his best actual partner from a functional team point of view. Cell shares with him Big Bad Boss's Fierce Battle, Legendary Power, and Nightmare, all which are crucial links to Frieza, but no Ki links. Now Frieza does get a lot of Ki from his passive, but bosses are starting to have Ki down. It's just not ideal, but it is the closest you're going to get to it. Otherwise you can run like a Janemba, but you run into the same issue. So Frieza has linking partners that compensate for him with Big Bad Bosses, which is great, but what he struggles with now is Ki, because his strongest Ki links are obviously Strongest Clan in Space, which, is, I don't want to say crucial, but the 18 Ki is so important, especially those first couple turns, in maintaining his levels of defense and giving him good defensive security. That 18 Ki is very, very crucial. with that being said, I think Frieza is really, really good. So I have nothing against Frieza. I think he works really, really well. Right now, he will work on a planetary destruction team best, floating in alongside either your, Cell Maxes or your Janembas because of uncontrollable power. Just giving him that big bad bosses and giving him a little bit of flexibility in what slot you want to put him in is great. I really like running him alongside Janemba for hard content. Obviously, preferably, I prefer running Buhan with Janemba, but Frieza will output a lot more damage than Buhan, and technically is defensively more secure to a degree. Obviously, provided you get those early stacks to maintain his raw defense. Frieza's defense is really where things are super crucial, and maintaining that after defense stack is very crucial. So Frieza can very easily start to output good damage. He can very easily start to do a lot of additionals. For that reason, personally, I am not a big fan of giving him evasion, because I feel like you have a chance then of screwing up him receiving an attack and getting that boost. All in all, Frieza is very good. We'll have to see what happens with that Goku Frieza unit and how that unit works, because I think that could be very pivotal to how good this is actually measured, as like an easy A, because it's always difficult to evaluate easy A units, especially ones that go onto teams that are already quite good. The reason I say this is because Frieza, obviously, universe's most malevolent prodigies, strongest clan in space, outside of big bad bosses and fierce battle, has a link set that's very tied to Space Traveler, well, to Wicked Bloodlines clan. And the moment we get another Wicked Bloodlines unit that pumps out amazing stats alongside Frieza, Frieza's stock will rise. Because Frieza's best bet right now, at least for me, I think is as a first slot tank, but like a malleable tank. He can go second slot if you want him to. He can stay first slot if he can get enough stacks. So I think there's a lot of position there for him. Obviously, depending on dupes, you'll find that he stacks a lot faster. A Rainbow Frieza is going to stack way faster than a non-Rainbow Frieza. A Frieza with a dupe is going to stack a lot faster than a non-Rainbow Frieza. But he's very tanky, and I think overall really well designed. Feels like the Vegeta, like the int SSBE Vegeta of the Extreme team for me. Very similar in nature, where it's like he's going to be quite tanky, especially after super or after being hit. And there's a couple of situations where he could be caught out, but generally he's going to be a really solid unit. So I'm super excited for him. I think he's good. I'm excited, hopefully, to get a really solid Frieza to go alongside him. But at this point in time, Planetary Destructions, he's a great substitute for Buhan, Cell Max. Yeah, really good.